more than the Southland. 1 week at a time. SCV chat starts now.
It's Monday at 7 o'clock, so you know what time it is. It's time for your weekly episode of SCV Chat. And before we get started, please remember, the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, its GEC, or its executive director, nor any divisions, brigade, camps, or any subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? I will be y'all's lovely host for the evening, and I'm joined by the hardworking, the super humble, the future MLB Baseball Hall of Famer, let's be honest, our executive director, Adam Sutton.
That would be a feat to be in the MLB Hall of Fame, considering I never played there. But, you know, perfection only will take you so far. You have to be something somebody wants. So I've been told that.
I really want to see if I can get that somehow happening. Just somehow talk him into it. I was like, he was a perfect player. This is his record. I mean, if y'all don't put him in, who will? And if not, I'm asking for donations for a baseball Hall of Fame just so I can put Adam Southern in it.
Pointing towards right field.
Get a giant statue built of you in Columbia. Just randomly on on y'all's square. Just like right by Puckett's. Every time we go to Puckett, there's a statue of Adam underneath it, the most perfect baseball player in Tennessee.
You ain't right.
Oh, that'd be great. But how's everybody doing? I see we have Victor Smith in the chat. Good to see you. Beth, good to see you. Mr. John, good to see you from Camp 1321. Miss Linda, good to see you. The Kennedy twins are in the chat on YouTube. Good to see y'all over there. Quick plug for our YouTube. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. That is just an awesome accomplishment, and we'll be doing a whole lot more on YouTube in the near future. So please go subscribe to us on YouTube. Just type in SCV Chat, and you'll get to see us. So please do that. David Pope, good to see you. John from Camp 1388 in the chat, good to see you. Past Commander-in-Chief, the most sharp-dressed man in the SCV, Paul Gramlin Jr., doing the lovely question mark. I know I stole Carl's title. He is the lovely AOT commander. I don't think he's in the chat yet. So everybody, just when Carl gets in the chat, that's his full title for the night. The lovely AOT commander, Carl Jones. Kyle is on time for once. I'm just shocked, Commander. Kentucky Division Commander Kyle Thompson. Frank, good to see you. Dr. Mitchum, who will be our special guest next week, is in the chat. Good to see you. Past Commander-in-Chief of the Lone Ranger, Chuck McMichael in the chat. Good to see you. Jason from the Turner Asby camp is in the chat. Steve from Camp 1454 in the chat. 5th Brigade Aide-de-Camp, Jack DuPont in the chat. Jack, I need to put you to work doing something. I just don't know yet. We'll make something up. Al, good to see you from Southern Middle Tennessee. Wes, good to see you. And Robert. All right, let's see if anybody else has joined. Tom is in the chat. Let's see here. Lucas from Camp 1513 in the chat. Let's see here. Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Tony Griffin in the chat. James from Camp 1512. Miss Linda Gramlin in the chat. Good to see you. And Kyle saying that he's trying to raise the bar here. Good for you, Kyle. Good. You might not end up with the Thomas Franklin Award for late arrival. You might still. I mean, you have a reputation at this point. But let's see here. Kim, good to see you from the Kirby Smith Camp 1209. Chad in the chat as well. Well, it's good to see you all. Make sure to share this episode out. This is, of course, our Hearth and Home episode where we have the fantastic executive director Adam Southern on to talk about.
You're really hyping me up tonight.
Really hyping you up, man. Well, it's been actually a good bit since our last Hearth and Home episode.
I know. I was just thinking last time I saw you, or one of the last times I saw you, I was looking over the barrel of a Nerf gun shooting at you. So that was, well, maybe the next to last time I saw you.
The quicker we could forget that would just be all the better for all of us, namely me.
It was a good time. Y'all raised some money for the museum. So
I've created a monster. I only agreed to do it once, and now Connor's thinking like 4 years ahead, and I'm like, no. Why?
Kayla found an airsoft pistol that she's going to bring next year. She said, "Oh, this would be good."
Is that because I used her in the oratory?
That might have something to do with it.
In my defense, it was just because she came to the oratory and I saw her in the crowd. I had ran out of stuff to say. If you look at my notes, they end right before I just started pointing out people in the crowd. I threw in Larry McClooney, past commander-in-chief. I threw in Kayla. She is the captain of the Corn Dog Cavalry in the great state of Mississippi. I think I even threw Chuck in there, maybe. I know I definitely threw in Carl. Victor, let's just not talk about it. Victor's bringing up so much stuff that we just shouldn't. We should not bring that up on this show. This is a respectable show, sir. Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Johnny Kennedy in the chat. The moose hunt with birdshot would bring in more money. It might, but I don't know how much shots of birdshot I could take, and I'm not really keen to figure it out, honestly. I'm good. Let's see here. The John Carvin's camp is in the chat. Good to see y'all. Tony Griffin just got back from a lovely 2-week vacation in Florida. Got to visit AOT Councilman Roy Hudson and his wife, Miss Linda. That's great. Rock salt. Why are we now? Why are we attacking me now? Did I say it wrong? I said one of the camp names wrong. My apologies. If this is your first time on the show, I am the master of mispronunciation. I will try my best. I'm sorry. The Surgeon John Craven's camp. Please tell me I said that right.
Yeah, I think you got it right.
Okay. Yay. Again, my apologies.
They're confirming there, so they say yes.
Okay. Past Commander Gramlin says he would vote for a dunking booth for past Commander-in-Chiefs.
Hey.
Now,
that's a possibility.
Could you imagine Jason trying to swim up? trying to. Oh, I'm so happy he's not watching this because he still gets a vote on the GEC for like 6 years.
Yeah. Let's see, our current CIC says that's good for now, but let's not do it in 2 years.
That's a smart commander right there. I would love to see that. I think that would be cool. I don't know how many past commander-in-chiefs would sign up for it, but I would pay $50 to dunk Jason in the water. I would, especially
we made our first 50 right there. So
as long as I could just go up and smack it at the end and dunk him in if I missed it all, I think that'd be money well spent for the cause. Not only that, but Jason has promised to run around in a leprechaun suit if we do the moose hunt again, and that is something I didn't know I needed to see until he said it. And he did say it. You can go back on
there is a recorded copy of
anniversary. Yes. So there's proof that a past commander-in-chief has agreed to dress up as a leprechaun. Either that or I want him in a T-Rex costume for the whole time, but you can see his face a bit clearer. Commander Gremlin said he would do it. He would do the dunk tank. That's awesome. That's awesome. I would, again, I think it'd be. That threw me off. Please notice that Facebook picture has Paul in it. She's saying, I would give 50 to dunk Paul. Oh, that's great. Wait, everybody. Army of Tennessee Commander Carl Jones is in the chat. Faversham, if y'all remember what I said, do it now. I just want to see how many of y'all can get to do it and just see Carl's reaction, honestly. Carl, we did talk about you at the beginning of the show, and I'm about to see how much fun we can have before I stop taking up all of Adam's time.
Well, let's take up as much of it as we can. Everybody's here for you, Moose. They
No,
don't.
they're not.
Yeah, see, Gremlin was listening.
He was listening. Thank you, Commander Graham. Lovely Carl.
I want to know something though. Paul, would you wear a suit while you're in the dunk booth?
Yes. I mean, I don't know if I've seen Commander Gremlin
I've never
without
seen him
a suit.
without at least a sport jacket. He might have a T-shirt on. If he's keeping it casual, he'll have a T-shirt and a sport jacket over the top.
He'll put a T-shirt on. But as I said, he has owned the title of the most sharp-dressed man in the SCV.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually the reason we can't have that as an award, simply because Commander Gremlin win it every year. I do want to start at least being a disciple of Gremlin when it comes to dress, because it is just wonderful. I see that we are just getting a lot of volunteers for the dunk tank now, but not by the people that would be in the dunk tank, by their friends. I volunteer Ron Kennedy for the dunking booth when we raise money for rebuilding the Forest Plaza. I'm sure he would like to do that. Commander Kennedy, I 100% agree with that idea. All I'm going to ask is, Mr. Ron, I didn't say it. So let's not pull us off the air. Your brother said it. I'm loving these comments. It's rumored that Carl Jones will be in the Easter Bunnies. Gosh, at the Yellow Hammer Jammer celebration in Alabama, which I would love to go to. Yeah, we're getting the lovely Carl Jones. It's the lovely Carl. My favorite is we got the official title for Carl Jones, the lovely Army of Tennessee Commander Carl Jones. That's
the full title right there.
That's going on a gift I'm getting you, Carl. I don't know what, but it's going to be on a gift. Yeah, I'm going to pay good money to get it like on a little plaque. I did not see your cold water challenge from a couple years, Commander Gremlin. Miss Linda, being the best for the night, says, heck, I'll get him a tux for the dunk tank. Can we please have that? I can't tell you how much I need that, because, again, Commander Gremlin, the most sharp-dressed man in the SCV, to wear a tux at a dunk tank, that is a big move. That is, not many people are brave enough to wear a suit out in bad weather.
See, our next GEC meeting is October 12th, so we can say about October 12th at 2 o'clock. We'll have a dunk booth in the parking lot, and hey, everybody come and pitch a ball at your favorite commander.
Oh my gosh, these comments are great tonight. The lovely Army of Tennessee Commander Carl Jones said he's lobbying for a Paul Gremlin haberdashery section at the museum gift shop.
Check out his latest comment, though.
Let's see here. Oh, that's great. He was wearing a sports coat in his cold water challenge from a couple years ago. He says he would wear a tux. Y'all are all saying this on a program that reaches over 1 million people a year, at the minimum over 1,000 people an episode. I just want to remind y'all that, so there are witnesses to all this. So I just want to remind y'all, and I'm going to take a picture of this episode right now, and we're not going to forget. Oh, my volume's on. And we're going to remember all this. I ain't scared. That might be the most Southern thing ever to say. I ain't scared. Right before you do something. I'm pretty sure I said that as I wore a moose onesie. And then became very scared of the photos that I saw surface. Oh, ooh. Carl Jones says I'm getting the word lovely on my arm right below my United States Marine tattoo. The funny thing is that came up because one of my high school teachers called us lovelies. And one night, I don't know why, I just called Carl lovely. And I don't know if he likes it or not, but it has somehow stuck. And now we are getting people that are typing the lovely Army of Tennessee Commander Carl Jones. Honestly, Carl, I want you to stay as long as you can in office just so I can keep adding the word lovely before your official title. That's great. For $10 for $10 a throw, I would wear a blue. Anything for the National Confederate Museum. Yeah, that's a dangerous thing to say. Anything for the National Confederate Museum, because again, I said that for a onesie that was way, way too tight. It was very unflattering. My doctor saw that and he was very ashamed. He's predicting a heart attack by 30 now after seeing the onesie, and I don't know how to feel about that one. Not the most flattering picture, something that definitely won't be shown to any woman I'm talking to ever. Those will be burnt anytime.
Well, if I ever meet her, I'll show her. Like, hey, let me show you this picture of Moose real quick.
Adam, what are friends for?
That's right.
The Marines and lovely just ain't right. This is true. You'll always be the lovely Carl Jones to me now. Believe me, I have a lot of respect for Carl. I know Carl is probably questioning how much respect I have for him for giving him the title lovely. But it is because you are just a lovely gentleman, Carl. All right. The duality of man. All right. Well, Adam's got a great episode for you. Let's go into a couple of pictures before we have our commercial break, so it's not just all of me talking on random topics. But you actually have a lot of great stuff for us tonight.
Yeah, we've got some good pictures, I think.
Oh, yes, sir, and a lot of stuff I'm interested in to hear you talk about. And here is the first one.
Well, we had a bus tour recently. This group was from Pittsburgh, PA. So we had a bus load of Yanks come and see us at the National Confederate Museum, and they loved the place. They come and they have supper at Elm Springs. This is something we do in conjunction with the local visitor center. The Murray County Visitor Center will pitch tour ideas to these bus companies, and this group came from Pittsburgh. And when they pulled into the parking lot, the step-on guide, which happens to be Kayla, my wife, she said they were kind of flabbergasted. They said that's a Confederate battle flag or Confederate flag waving right there on that flagpole. And Kayla said, well, yes, that flies here all the time. And everybody on the bus clapped their hands. So we got applause for flying the battle flag from a busload of Yankees. They loved Elm Springs. They loved the museum. They put a lot. If they bought anything from the gift shop, they put their spare change, their cash into the gift box. They were very complimentary of our museum. They loved what we were doing. So that just goes to show you that most Americans agree with what we're doing, I think.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, if we can get a bus full of Yankees to cheer for us, it proves that not all Yankees are are unable to be educated, in my opinion. I think there's hope for all of us now.
Right. I agree with you. So, what else do we have there? I think there's maybe a picture of them loading the bus, and I just thought it was a good picture with the bus and the flag and the sun setting. So they were with us for quite a while. So they got to do the full Elm Springs tour along with tour of the museum and time in the gift shop. So Paul's right. Just call them Northerners, not Yankees.
This is true.
Yeah. So.
All right, now Adam, I'm gonna have a question about this next picture because it's jarring to see.
Yeah, see, I'm driving around town with a busload of naked people. Somebody called me and said, "Do you need any mannequins?" I said, "Well, sure." And they were like, "Well, take all you want." So I got pretty much a whole carload of mannequins for free because I knew that we had things in the museum that we could use these mannequins for. And every time I go to buy a mannequin, the cheapest one I can find is usually about $100 to $150. So to find some for free, you're right. I was going to jump on that opportunity, but I couldn't pass the opportunity of taking a selfie with a bunch of naked mannequins as I was driving through Columbia.
That is fantastic, and great job, Adam, for finding that deal for us. Let me pull up the next one.
Yeah, so we were getting that's them in the museum. I just kind of thought that was humorous to see the naked forms there. There's my potty humor, my childish sense of humor coming out.
That fits in great on this show.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So many thanks to that organization for calling us, and we have a lot of partnerships around town, not just the museum, but me personally. I go around and try to be good in the community, a good steward of the community, and every now and again that pans out, and they will call us and give us items. So yeah, I think that's. Tony's right. If I was getting in the HOV lane, one of those would have come in use. Put it in the passenger seat and go.
I would have loved to seen the security picture of that. Just Adam in his vehicle with his arm like over the mannequin, driving down the.
Or me toting them around the museum, got a naked body under each arm as I'm going through the museum.
I bet that was a sight to see. Oh, I'm going to have to come up and volunteer, and my only request is that you do that again. Now, here's another picture that I saw that I just think is a cool one that I had so many questions about, but this one.
Yeah, that was actually loaned to us during the Tennessee Division reunion in Columbia. And this was a child's UCV uniform. So it had to be a grandson or great-grandson of one of the Confederate veterans. And it was made in the early 1900s, as far as I can tell. It has actual UCV buttons on it. It has the little kepi that matches it. And luckily, one of those forms that I went to pick up was a child's form, and it fit this little uniform perfectly. So I was thrilled to be able to display this. We'll be putting it in the display case pretty soon.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's cool. And yeah, someone brought up, and I wanted to point out, yes, it is awesome that Adam is out in the community for us, because I think a lot of people know this, but us getting out in the community is the best publicity we can have in the SCV, and Adam is one of our best spokespersons. He might not think so. I might be bragging on Adam too much. I might get a talking to that my life membership cards that I still have at HQ might get shredded. Yeah, might get revoked. But he is great. But I do want to take a quick commercial break real quick and give Adam time to parch his throat and give him some rest. But tonight's commercial break is, of course, sponsored by our Patreon. Just go to Patreon /SCV_chat, and you can go support us. Supporting us there on Patreon is a big help to the show. It keeps us on the air, and it keeps us able to continue to give y'all some excellent content. And it's giving us the ability to do stuff that we never have been able to do. Some of that stuff will be going to YouTube. Some of that will be a Patreon exclusive. There is a Patreon exclusive show that we will be releasing a new episode for sometime soon. We still have to record it and read the next chapter, but it is called, I'm going to forget the name of the show, aren't I? Live on Air. Isn't this just beautiful? But the Moosehead Book Club is just a book review with me and GCB as we double down the rabbit hole of me becoming a historian, a self-educated historian, as a SCV chat guest Ryan S. Walters would say, an independent historian, but all that lovely stuff. Of course, go support us on scvchat.com. You will get to see our store full of great t-shirts. Episodes are on there. Some of our favorite episodes. You can watch our episodes live from the SCV chat website, as well as breaking SCV news, breaking Confederate news, and breaking SCV chat news, and a whole lot more. That website is phenomenal. So go check that out, and make sure you go check out Creative Cockades, as they provide historically accurate cockades at a very reasonable price. They are this season's sponsors, and they have done a phenomenal job. So we want to thank them. Thank y'all for supporting the chat, and we will be right back after this quick Pop-Tart break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Again, thank you guys for watching that beautiful, beautiful commercial break with us. Again, it is sponsored by scvchat.com, the SCV Chat Patreon, which David Pope makes a good point. There are still books available for the people who want to see the book reviews for new Patreon supporters. So if you sign up and you want these books, contact me. I'll get in touch with David. We will arrange for you to get this book. So please, we need new Patreon members, and I cannot wait and get on the next episode of this book review. It has been a great one. The first episode is free, so go check it out on scvchat.com, or just hit our podcast section and scroll down to your podcatcher of choice, and you should be able to see it. Let's see here. Okay, that comment threw me off. I'm sure it's a great comment, but I need to reread that. That got me. But yes, Commander Kenny makes a good point. Every SCV camp needs to be out in the community, and Lieutenant Commander Tony Griffin says that his November-December article discusses that very subject. So that's great. And yeah, download the handout for the 21st Confederate Sense of Heroes at www.scvtaylorcamp.com/21ch.pdf. How do you share that ad? Well, Barry, it is on our YouTube page as well as the Confederate Museum Facebook page, or is it on the SCV Facebook page?
It should be on both.
Okay.
If not, I'll get on there and share it again.
Okay, yeah, so there's multiple places, and I encourage you to share it from multiple places. That's the best way to get most views out of it you can. If you want to download it, I would actually need to talk to Commander Kennedy. I'm unsure if it's available for download right now, but I'm sure he'll be on in another week. If you don't mind, Barry, I'll ask him then. Or I think he's watching tonight. Might be able to send him a text after the show. But yes, go support us on all those apps, and of course, Creative Cockade. But back to it, I love the children's uniform.
Oh, I do too. That's a really neat item, and how rare is that? There can't be many of those out there. But just think of, some kid was so proud to be wearing that little uniform when he went to a reunion with his granddad. That's how it probably went down, and it's really a neat piece, and it was factory made too. It looks like it has the label inside, and so it was made by the same manufacturer that did a lot of the UCV uniforms that these soldiers would wear at the time. So.
It's beautiful, and it shows how much pride that Southern children had in their ancestors, in their grandfathers, in their fathers, in their great-grandfathers. And that really does bring a smile to my face, along with this next one, which I'm just ready to hear the story on. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into it. But this piece.
Yeah, during our pilgrimage this past spring, this came in the door, and it's a marching band uniform from Emma Sampson High School in Gaston, Alabama. And I put a picture of the monument, the Emma Sampson Monument, down there at the foot of the mannequin, because these things go hand in hand. Emma Sampson was, of course, famous for, it was all part of the Strait raid through Alabama, where General Forrest was after Abel Strait, and he ended up with a force of 500 men. Forrest captured 1,500 men. But Strait thought he was being smart. He burned the bridge across Black Creek there in Alabama, and Emma Sampson came up. She said, I know where there's a ford. So she hops on the horse behind General Forrest and shows him where to take his men across, and they continue the chase after Abel Strait. So, of course, they have a monument of Emma Sampson in Gaston, Alabama, because she was so important in this story and helping General Forrest capture Abel Strait. They named the high school in Gaston, Alabama after her. And as you can see, the battle flag featured prominently in the high school marching band uniforms. And there's the patch on the arm, Emma Sampson High School. So got a little bit of damage to the patch there, but still a beautiful uniform. And I thought it was a full adult uniform until I tried to put it on a form, and then found out it was again kind of an adolescent uniform. So luckily we were gifted a couple of those smaller forms, and we have something where we can display that uniform now.
That is two outstanding uniforms that really make me smile. I cannot wait to get up to you, hopefully in the next month or two, and see that in person. That is phenomenal, Adam, and just great work for the museum. And this next piece It caught my interest as well.
Yeah, we've got a friend that lives in Mexico.
Mhm.
He has his family lineage all the way back to the Shenandoah Valley, so he collects a lot of AMV items.
Mm.
And he is a missionary that lives down in Mexico, so he's down there doing the Lord's work. And he doesn't have a lot of, he doesn't have to spend a lot of money down there to make it. So he puts all of his money into artifacts. And he likes to collect items from the AMV, from the Shenandoah Valley, from Jackson especially, his men. And this is a UCV jacket from that area. I think it came out of the Lexington area. That is an original black felt hat from the I think the Stonewall Brigade. I think it can be traced back to the Stonewall Brigade. And this is an original bedroll. And if you look at the shoulder there, you can tell it's got some damage where the rifle butt would hit the blanket when they would put the rifle on their shoulder to march. The blanket shows that wear. So original blanket, a UCV jacket, and an original hat, all in that same picture. Some great items.
Whew, that'll just take your breath away.
Oh yeah. You never know what he's going to come in with. He's a great friend of our museum, and he says that these items are kind of his retirement if he ever decides to sell them, but he wants to show them off in the meantime. So he graciously loans those items to our museum.
Well, that's phenomenal. Yeah, thank him for all of us. That is just wow, what an outstanding piece. Tom Wood, if you could send that to me, sir. I'll have that on this Thursday. Eric told me to be ready for work since I'm coming up at some point. I do love volunteering, Eric, but I think that this will be for the GEC meeting I'm coming up to, so I don't know how free I'll be.
Eric also made another important announcement. Be sure to remind everybody that the grace period ends at the end of the month. So if you don't have your dues in by August 30th or August 31st, at the last of the month, you will owe an additional $5 on your dues. So be sure to get those dues into National. We're in the midst of that right now. And, and Kayla's going to put you to work too. So
Kayla, Eric, I will come up for a whole day to work for y'all, mainly because I'm scared of Kayla, but also I do like archiving some of our history, the camp history, even if it's just membership stuff. That always makes me excited. That's just how much of a geek I am, I guess. But the dressers, I'm not so excited for, I'll be honest. But again, I kind of feel like I have to pay my Kayla Southern fee for being able to come up to the museum, and she scares me. And I don't want her to hit me with an airsoft gun. So that's that I will help you move that as long as we don't have to take it up the small staircase again.
All right, it doesn't have to go upstairs this time. That's good.
That makes me so happy. That's enough to be my Christmas present this year, honestly. Now, anyone who knows me knows I also love flags. And so this next one, I cannot wait. So I'll go ahead and bring the picture up so I can see it a bit better myself. But what is this? It looks like a Tennessee flag.
It is a Tennessee flag. This is part of our partnership with the Tennessee State Museum. And Tom Wood could probably tell you more about this flag than I can, because his museum over in Lebanon, they have a veterans museum over there. They had this flag on loan before we did. And the women of Lebanon made this flag for the Lebanon Grays. And you can see that it says, "Go and fight." And this was originally a first national flag. It has faded out that much, but it was the red, white, and red bars there with the blue canton. And in the canton, it has the state seal of Tennessee painted and the letters Tennessee painted underneath the seal. And that was pitched about 1861 to the Tennessee legislature for that to be the Tennessee state flag of the Confederacy, but they never voted on it. But so pretty much that was the Tennessee flag during the war between the states. But beautiful handmade piece by the women of Lebanon. So glad to have that in our museum. Right now we have 3 flags from the Tennessee State Museum. One was captured at Gettysburg, and the other one is a second national, which is kind of rare as hen's teeth. So come to the museum and you'll see some good flags.
I can't wait to come see the flag, but I'm stuck on it's rare as hen's teeth. Phenomenal saying. I'm stealing that.
It's a huge flag, and I can't imagine being the guy that had to carry that because, you know, he had to be a stout guy, especially if the wind caught it. You're charging along with this huge flag. You had to be a pretty stout fella.
Yeah, I feel bad for the guy because, you know, if there was a tough wind day and he was having to hold and he got a workout. I can't tell if Eric's saying it's huge as in the dresser I'm supposed to move or the flag.
I think he's referring to the flag.
Okay. That's
luckily for you, he's referring to the flag.
Yeah. Yeah, the women of the South made sure the men of the South knew what was expected of them.
Yeah, I mean, he said it right there, of real men.
Real men. Not yet, Mr. Eric. We're just about. Did you answer this one, Adam, just then?
No, we haven't. I'm smoking a J.D. Howard tonight, which is a Crowned Heads brand. J.D. Howard, of course, was the alias that Jesse James used while he lived in Nashville, Tennessee. So Crowned Heads is a Nashville, Tennessee brand. So Tennessee cigar tonight.
That's awesome.
And Alabama bourbon, or Alabama whiskey tonight, too. Some Clyde Mays.
Oh, that does sound good. Miss Linda says, and we continue to do the same. It's the women of the South that make sure that the men of the South know what is expected of them to be real men. That is a great saying, Commander. Let's see here. No, Mr. Eric, we haven't talked about that yet. We're saving that for in just a bit. That's the wrong comment. Good for you, though, Kyle. But Mr. Tom Wood wanted to comment on the flag. The flag is the Company H flag of the 7th Tennessee Infantry under General Hatton. Adam is right. It is huge. That is awesome. I can't wait. I love a good flag. Adam still has promised me years ago that I get a tour of Elm Springs, and I just want to point out randomly on this episode, I still haven't. He tells me he's too busy for someone like me, and it kind of hurts my feelings. Oh, yeah, now I'm moving that dresser up some stairs.
Yep. Hey, this is just going to show you how big of a nerd I am. We got a new filing cabinet at the library. Hey, I love it. We're starting our vertical file collection. And what goes into a vertical file, you might ask? Anything that is not a book. So all the little pamphlets that we have, like this little booklet here for the blue and gray cookery recipe book, cookbook, that goes into the vertical file. But I also have a ton of Confederate veteran magazines that are going to have to go into this vertical file. And I think that's the next picture. Yes. Every Confederate veteran magazine. We're blessed to have every, I believe this is every original Confederate veteran magazine.
Wow.
So we'll be working, or I will be working to put these into acid-free folders and put them into the vertical file, catalog each and every one that we have. And we've got a lot of stuff that needs to go in there.
I bet you have done some great work with the McCain Library up there. Is there anything you want to talk about before we move on to the last bit about the McCain Library? Because, I mean, it has changed just as much as the museum, honestly.
Yeah, I'm glad that you actually played that video of the museum because we had somebody come up not too long ago. They said, well, I was in the museum probably when you first opened. I said, well, if you were in there when we first opened, you need to go again because it has changed tremendously. It's changed tremendously in the past year compared to what it was. We're constantly getting new items. of and constantly changing how it looks. New cases were put in this last winter, and we've uh, applied for several grants. Hopefully, we'll have some more cases this year. So this coming year that will go in there. But if you haven't been to the museum, come and take a look around. If you haven't been to our library before, come and take a look around because we're constantly adding new items in there. We're cataloging items every day. Whenever I get a chance, anyway. I've kind of been failing in my library duties right now because we've been so busy in other ways. But starting to find a little bit of a chance to get in there and work in the museum. Getting really excited about my vertical file project, and want to kind of tell you about our card catalog. So if you want to go ahead and put up that first slide.
Yes, sir. Real quick, Commander Kennedy asked, do we have a digital copy of the old Confederate veteran magazines?
Yes, and actually, if you log into Salesforce, you can go and look at all of the digital copies that we have. We have them all the way back into I think the early 1900s. We might even have some. I don't want to speak out of class here. I don't know what the original start date of that was. It might be late 1800s or early 1900s, but we do have some of those original digital copies on Salesforce that you can read as long and that will take you into the current issues as well that you can see. So, and they're searchable. That's what's so great about them online is you can actually search them. They're all kind of PDF based, so they pick up on the text. You type in what you're looking for. I use these a lot when I was doing when I spoke to your division reunion in Mississippi. I was talking about the Battle of Franklin, so I would search Franklin and went through all the old Confederate veterans and pulled out all the little snippets about Battle of Franklin that I could find. And Eric's right, that is a great benefit of membership just to get this archives of Confederate veteran magazines.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know you could search and see stuff. So I'm definitely I knew about the old archive, but I might have to get on there now and check that search engine out on a couple things I've been researching.
Absolutely, because there are some great articles in those old veterans.
Oh, that's phenomenal. Dig nabbit, Adam. I don't spend enough time at night looking at SCV stuff, I guess. So Adam has just doubled that. But yeah, you sent me this catalog, and so I'll put up the first image.
All right, so there's the link to our catalog. If you don't know what the link to our online catalog is, take a screenshot or save this for later. This is what you're going to need to get onto our online catalog.
All right, and here's the next one.
All right, when it comes up, this is our homepage for the catalog. In top left corner, you'll see the search engine. Go ahead and type in what you're looking for. And for this exercise, I typed in Mississippi Division because I'm looking for something from the Mississippi Division. I'm going to pick on y'all tonight.
Oh, great.
And when the results come up, there it is. It's the first result. It's the Mississippi Division Sons of Confederate Veterans Reunion Program and Book of Reports from 2024. So I click on that, and it comes up and tells me where to find it. And guess what? It's in the brand new vertical file. So go to vertical file, and it's under Mississippi. So for Mississippi, I go to the vertical file and pull it, and there you go. There is the Mississippi Division Sons of Confederate Veterans 128th Reunion, Book of Reports, and the program. So that's how easy our system is to operate. If you want to know if we have a certain book, pull up that link, type it in. If you want to know if we have something about a certain brigade, type it in, or a certain regiment, type it in. It'll come up in the results. If we don't have it, donate it. I mean, really, please donate it, because that's how our museum and our library are able to grow. If you have certain items that we don't have, please feel free to donate, and we'll love you forever.
A couple questions. Does that include an index from Commander Kennedy?
Does that include an index?
I'm thinking he's talking about The magazines, maybe.
The magazines. I'm not sure if those online editions have an index, but we do have the index that was published. We have a paper copy of the index that you can search in the McCain Library.
Okay. Let's see here. Jack asks, "Does the library require an SCV membership?"
No, library is open to the public, and we've actually had several members of the public come and use it. We actually had a couple from Texas this past week that just came through town and were searching libraries, and we came up in the results on Facebook. They came to research their family. We helped them as well as we could and actually found one of their ancestors, but then also sent them to the local archives here in town where they were able to find more information.
That's awesome.
But it's important to remember our library is not a lending library. We are strictly a research library, so the books never leave the library, but we'll make copies for you if we need to. But everybody has a cell phone now. Pretty much everybody will just take pictures of what they need and go on with what they're doing.
That's probably what I do.
Yeah.
Or you could be like me and spend time reading it, forgetting to take pictures of it, taking pictures of it, and then realizing you came down there to volunteer. That's probably what Eric has to deal with every time I come down. Let's see here. Mr. Dennis says our camp, the Brigadier General Thompson Benton Smith Camp compatriot Wilms, is delivering several books that were donated to our camp. I'm guessing they're going to donate to y'all. So I guess
That's
he's just
great.
giving a heads up.
Well, thank you for that. And it's important if we have a book already, we will put it on our used bookshelf, and that money from the used bookshelf goes to benefit the museum. But if we don't have a title, we will gladly put that into our research library. And I recently went through some of my personal books, and I took a lot of them to the museum, and what we didn't have, we went into the library, and the rest went onto the sale shelf. So.
That's a hard thing to do, Adam. That's a brave thing right there.
A book. I hate to do it, but space is limited in the Southern household here.
Dennis says yes, they're bringing them tomorrow, or he is bringing them tomorrow.
Are you coming up with Ed Butler, Dennis?
Oh, I think it's Mr. Compatriot Wilms of the campus coming up to deliver it. I don't think he's in the chat, though.
Okay. All right, sounds good. I know Ed Butler is coming up tomorrow, so look forward to seeing him. It's always a treat to see Ed Butler. He's one of my favorite people. But Dennis is a good guy from Tennessee, and always good to see him, too, if he's coming tomorrow.
All right, and we have one more picture to end the show on tonight, and I couldn't think of a better way to end the show than to talk about just two massive things next to the flagpole now. Just, I got to hear the story of this.
Yeah, whenever you pull in now, you're greeted by two cannons staring at you as you pull into the property. These came from Camp 215 in Memphis, Tennessee. And they're reproduction barrels, but they're on 1900 Shiloh frames. So these frames used to be on the Shiloh battlefield, and they're the steel frames or metal frames, and just really looks impressive when you pull in.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a great touch right there. That looks beautiful.
Camp 215 for bringing those to the museum. They're on permanent loan to us, and really it changes the looks of the museum. It kind of looks like a real historic site now. We are a real historic site, but now we're starting to look more like it when you see those cannons pull in.
Oh, yeah.
They're staring right at you.
That's just nostalgia for me. All I got taken to as a kid was historical parks. So that's
no telling how many times I went and stood by a cannon to get my picture made. So now we've got some right now where people pull in, they can take their kids and get pictures by those cannons out front. So hopefully we'll have people coming and making some memories with us at the National Confederate Museum.
I think the first park. Now I could be wrong because my memory is spotty as a 25-year-old. Now we're going back, nearly 20 years. But I think one of the first parks I went to was Vicksburg, and yeah, there's a picture of us just by like a row of cannons. A dad holding me up for the picture. That's one of my favorite pictures. Yes, Mr. Roy, our Army of Tennessee Councilman Roy Hudson saying yes, it's a great attention getter. Dennis says he won't be able to come tomorrow because he's recovering from strep. Our prayers, Mr. Dennis.
Yeah. Hope you feel better soon, Dennis. Dennis is a bear hunter from way back, so that's what he's usually called, bear hunter. But
what?
Yeah, I mean, he's a bear hunter. He goes out and hunts bear. Tennessee, like all Tennessee boys do.
All right, that might be the coolest job I've heard. Just like, what do you do for? Oh, I hunt bears. All right, well, not getting into who's a bigger man in your contest. You hunt bears. Oh, that's cool, Mr. Dennis. That's just awesome. All right, let's. Commander Kennedy told us, "Great show, fellas. Must go. Seems like I've been real busy since July."
Imagine that.
Imagine that. I wouldn't want your job if you paid me, Commander Kennedy. Wouldn't want it. I don't want the jobs I have now. What? Oh, that's if I ever choke and I'm eating a gummy bear and die, tell everybody a bear killed me.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Eric, I got the same thing. If I die doing something stupid, I just want everybody to go around saying I died in the war. What war? We don't know. We never answer that. All you say is I died in the war.
Good to see everybody in chat tonight, and always
Jason
good
Smith.
to be on here with Moose here.
The executive director of Beauvoir. Yeah, Jason, we all have those days, I think. But honestly, I think when you love your job so much that some days you're just like, it's the people. It's the real stupid people that get you. I think that proves you just love the good work you're doing. Thank you, Jason, for all the stuff you do at Beauvoir. Thank you, Adam, for a great show. It's always fun to have you on, Adam, and I can't believe we're already at an hour.
Well, it's been an hour already.
Yeah, just it flies by with Adam because he's a great historian. He's written a couple books himself, so he is an author and an educator, technically. So thank you, Adam, for coming on. Thank you for all the hard work you do at headquarters and, of course, representing us in the community. All the stuff Miss Kayla does and everybody else up at HQ have just done a phenomenal job. And the museum has turned into what I would say is a crown jewel of the South, a must-see location. And it's only getting better every day with y'all involved.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. We do it because we love it, and we love this organization. And hope everybody will come see us. And this is as much y'all's museum as it is anyone else's. It's not HQ's museum. This is the SCV's museum. So I hope the membership will come and see it and get your whole camp together. Come see us. We'd love to see the whole camp come. Get a bus load. Come see us. To introduce you.
Y'all come up, check out the museum. It's a phenomenal place. Go check out the Friends of the Museum, a way to support the museum directly, as well as Friends of Elm Springs. And let us not forget the 21st Confederate Century. Adam, take it away.
The 21st
please.
Century Confederate Heroes Program. $1,000, you can be a 21st Century Confederate hero. So send your $1,000 check to General Headquarters. You'll get a beautiful neck ribbon. You'll be included in a special edition book. Your name will be placed on a TV screen in the entryway of the museum. And it's a great way to support everything that's going on at General Headquarters from museum debt relief to the rebuilding of the Forest Plaza. And I love everybody. Hope to see you soon. And Moose, good to see you as always, brother. Come see me in Tennessee soon.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully coming up soon. Check us out next Monday as we have Dr. Samuel Mitchum on.
Looking forward to Sandy's program.
Yeah, I don't think I ever called him Samuel. It always does me off on his face. I think I always call you Dr. Sandy Mitchum or Dr. Mitchum. But he will be discussing his idea of the top 10 Confederate generals. He's encouraging the viewers, the chat heads, y'all, to make your own list. He says this should be leading to some great discussions. And if I remember correctly, the one that's going to be the icing on the cake is the top 10 worst Confederate generals as well.
Oh.
Now, I don't know if we'll have time to get into that next Monday. Dr. Mitchum already talked about how it might be a long program. We'll see. But if not, we'll move on in the future to talk about the top 10 worst Confederate generals. This is going to be interesting because everybody has their own opinion, and Southerners are a very opinionated bunch. So, this is going to be fun. Feelings are going to get hurt. Wars are going to be broken out in the group, in the chat. It's going to be great. Us not forget having to do all the work, GCB. Trying to get everything ready for tonight. It's hard to move around this screen. Don't forget to make sure to share this episode out. Email scvyouth@outreach@gmail.com, and you'll be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation this Thursday at 7 p.m. Confederate Standard Time. Remember, we'll be talking about SCV camp news, so if your camp has done an event or has something coming up or cleaned a cemetery or set up a booth or went out in the community and picked up trash, anything, please send it to us. We want y'all cleaning Confederate cemeteries, putting up a monument, all that great Confederate heritage stuff, getting out in your community. That's great stuff to provide the SCV with a better image, all that stuff and so much more. Send that in. If you're a division, we'll be getting in touch soon. And we will be starting back hopefully very soon with the Army updates, which will lead into division updates. So make sure you tune in this Thursday. Send in all these. We'll be having an SCV camp-focused news edition. So make sure you tune in and share this episode out. And without further ado, I'm light-headed. I have to still copy all this and get everything ready to close the show. And very important, pay your dues. If you didn't do it in July, please start doing it in July. Haven't.
Do it in June.
Make sure you pay them. Yeah, pay them in June would be great. Even I can't pay them in June. So if you want to be better than everybody and say that you are, because I know how many people want to do that, I'm more Confederate than you. We pay them in June. Now, see, that's where I'm going to get in trouble later for saying that one comment. Didn't think about it, but yeah, pay them in June. But if you haven't paid them, please pay your dues. You don't want to get hit with a $5 fee. The SCV doesn't want you to hit you with a $5 fee.
We don't want to do it, but we will.
Yeah, it's their job. Literally, Adam's job.
I mean, I have to. I mean, so don't do it. We don't want to.
We don't want to. So please pay your dues and have some great camp meetings and go out there and defend the Confederate soldiers' good name. Whew, all right. Well, good night, everybody. We hope you have a blessed evening. Again, share this episode out. Everybody, please thank Adam Southern for coming on, our wonderful executive director. Some could say our lovely executive director. We don't know if he's there yet.
No, nobody's saying that. We don't know if
he's there yet, but he's close to lovely level. We haven't given him the title yet. He does have the title colonel, but not the title lovely yet. But no. Thank you guys for watching, as always. And remember, no Fumar in the elevator.